one is from Flintstone, Georgia. You can see the flooding taking place here, the trees that look like they're in a creek across this area. And I tell you, we've got a lot of brand new creeks around here. Don't be surprised if you see a Noah and his ark floating by fairly soon.
All right, well, we continue to bring you the latest on this developing story across the metro Atlanta area. Let's go now to our Jeff Morrow. He is live in Powder Springs. And, Jeff, we just got a report of multiple rescues and multiple road closures in Canton in Cherokee County. This is not over, and not by a long shot.
No, it's not over at all. The rain has just shifted a little bit farther north. Now, for the folks here in Powder Springs, that's good news. You know, get the heaviest rain out of this area, but the memory still lingers. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of an example, maybe a little bit of a dramatization here. Typically, Powder Springs Creek is a rather docile little creek, and it's back over in that tree line, all right? And it's probably not as wide as even this road is that you're looking at here. Now, I would say that Powder Springs Creek has gotten, at least at this point, up to about 100, maybe a little over 100 yards wide, and it is just gushing over this roadway and continuing to rise. Since I've been here, if you look out, you see that 35-mile-an-hour speed limit sign there? You could walk out to that and be dry here about 3 hours ago. There's no way you can do that now. In fact, I would be a little bit hesitant to try to walk out there even in my waders, because I probably could get knocked off my feet. There's a pretty good current moving from right to left across your screen there. Just amazing, amazing stuff. Now, earlier, we had some folks that were here, and they were checking out one of the museum that is actually here at the Powder Springs Park. This is a building that's over 100 years old. We have some video of these guys, and you can see they were up to their waist, even up to their chest in water as they were going in to inspect that building a little bit earlier. They actually even had a boat out over there a little bit earlier as well. Now, the question is the rain over with? And I unfortunately have to say probably not. We still have rain in the forecast, and we have a graphic to show you that we'll probably see 1 to 2 more inches of rain. Now, when you stack that on top of what we've already had 14, 15, 16 inches of rain here in West Cobb County, that doesn't seem like a lot. But any additional water, folks, is going to just add to the problems here. Again, this water continues to rise here, and I'm afraid it's probably even going to get a bit higher than this. Once again, we've talked to some folks here, and many of them come down and say they have never, ever seen the water this high. This is almost an unprecedented flooding situation here in North Atlanta. Guys, back to you.
And of course, Jeff, you know, you've lived in Atlanta for about 25 years now. You've also covered a lot of tropical systems, so let's do some comparisons on what you've seen in the past.
Well, I mean, when you get a big hurricane or a tropical storm come in and it moves slowly, it'll dump torrential amounts of rain like this. Oh, and there's a little bit of thunder, so there's some storms not that far away from where I'm standing. But, Heather, this is very comparable to a tropical system. Typically, you would look at something like this and say, oh, well, you had a storm or a hurricane sit over you for a day or two and dump all this water. But that's not the case here. This is a different situation. It's tropical moisture, but it didn't have any name to it. The only name it has is trouble, I think, that we're looking at here.
And Jeff, you know, the question now for a lot of folks, I think, in the Atlanta area is how much worse is this going to get? And maybe now is the time to start thinking about whether or not we should come home early from work, that type of thing. Apparently, Cobb County schools getting out a little bit early, and perhaps folks want to try to get home a little bit earlier and try to stagger that rush hour a little bit.
Yeah, I would think that's the case. In fact, we're going to pan over there, and you can see one of the guys coming out of the museum and the water that's up to his waist there. But I think that's great advice, Carl. Try to maybe leave work a little bit early, and maybe if you can, call ahead and see what roads are open. Because, you know, if everybody tries to get out at the same time here,